Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Andrea. So basically, I'm just gonna talk about the convention and pretty much stuff that happened during it, and yeah, just kind of chat with you guys. I feel like I haven't really made an actual vlog on this channel. I did post pictures and stuff. Okay, so the convention started on Saturday morning, but I did get to the hotel on Friday. I had a really good view, straight up to the bar. Here's a picture. Saturday, the convention pretty much started, and it was Ian, Paul, and Steven. They are all hilarious, but I felt so bad for Steven during the Q&As and stuff, because they kept feeling like they weren't letting Steven talk as much, like, you're not in the Salvatore circle, and he's like, left out once again. But he's so adorable. They did pictures before they did the Q&A. We were waiting for Ian, because Ian was like, Brooke, I want to see you after this, just wait here on the side, so I was waiting with her. And while we were waiting, I'm like I don't know how I ended up recording this, but I was just on my phone. Like, you can tell that I wasn't like trying to record it because it's so messed up. And it's like recording, and I'm like, McQueen, and he's like, oh hey, and like blows kisses at us, but you can't see when he actually blows a kiss, but you can kind of see his hand going down. You guys can just watch that for yourself. McQueen.
Okay, well, I gotta go.
Yeah, you can basically say me and McQueen are like best friends at this point. No? Okay, cool. He's so sweet and so adorable. Here's actually my picture with Steven. I know, I look a little scared, but let me tell you what happened before that. I walk in there, and I don't like being on the side that they wanted us to be on. I wanted to be on the opposite side of him. So I'm going towards the opposite side. And he's like, what, you don't even want your picture with me anymore? I see how it is. And then I was like, no, I just like this side better. And then I go stand next to him. And he's like, stop. And I'm just like, what? I didn't do it. And he's like, I need to dance. And he just started dancing. And I'm just like looking at him like, okay, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And he just starts dancing, and then the guy's like, the photographer's like, picture, and he like leans in, and he's like smiling. And I really like how he was actually smiling, but his arms like this, like he was just like in the moment of his dancing. And I was like, he probably looks like, I was like, I wonder how that picture's even gonna look. And I look really uncomfortable, because I'm just like, this freak was just like dancing, and I wasn't trying to be a part of it. But he's just hilarious. This is like the second time that I've met Steven, and he's so sweet. And then it was the photo op with Ian, I want to say, or I don't know if Ian's was first. No, yeah, Ian's was first. So, here's that picture. I was so nervous. I never thought I was going to be nervous. Can we talk about that? Like, I walked in there, I don't even know, like, if you would have just stayed quiet, I think it would have been fine. And, like, I am not, like, I know how these girls all love Ian. And they're just like, Ian is their favorite, and that's just how it is. But I'm not like that. Like, my favorite's Trevino, and I'm just like, he's so cool and stuff, so I prefer Trevino over Ian. I know that sounds bad, but whatever. I turned to the other side, and he's like, hey, honey pie, and he just kind of, like, looks into your eyes, and I was like, oh my god. Like, he, like, should have compelled you right there, because I was just like, hey, and his eyes are so adorable, and I was just like, hey, and I just sounded so dumb, and I was just like, oh god, like, this is really that bad. Like, I get what these girls are talking about. They did their Q&A. We got their autographs. I didn't get a Steven one because it wasn't part of my little package thing. And the moment of, like, the funniest part of this convention, I thought was going to be when Trevino saw what I got him to sign. And I thought that was going to be, like, the most awkward thing ever. But the most awkward thing was Zach's. Because, like, I made a poster thing with everyone's pictures, even Trevino's, even though I had something else for him to sign. But I ended up getting both of them signed from him because he's so sweet. They're all professional, like, pictures in a studio and everything. And then there's just Zach's, which is, like, him holding a lollipop. I think that was in, like, 17 magazine or something like that. And I'm just staring at it. Like, I didn't think it was awkward when I did it. And, like, I thought I was like, oh, crap, because Zach was the last day. Oh, crap, this is going to be so awkward when he sees it. Because if Ian says something about something, you know it's awkward. Because Ian's, like, the, the more responsible one. He doesn't really say much. He's really conservative of what he says, and he's so sweet. I get it coming from Paul because he's so silly. And then I remember Paul looking at it, and he's like, why does he have a lollipop in his hand? And I was like, I don't know, he's your friend, why don't you ask him? And he's like, I think I will. And I was like, okay. And I just kind of walked to the side. I was like, this is awkward. Ian was next, and he's like looking at it, and he's like, and you did this? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, this is so sweet. Everyone looks so good. Wait, why is Zach holding a lollipop? And I was just like, I didn't think it was that awkward of a picture to put in there. And I was just dying. Because you know when Ian says something, then you're just like, whoa there. Whoa there, boy. something just got awkward. I was really awkward about it. I was like, I don't know. And he's like, well, thanks, honey pie. This is so sweet. And he was just really awkward about Zach's picture. And I was like, oh, God. The next day, I was like, oh, my God, this is going to be so awkward. I have two awkward things. I have Trevino's what I'm going to make him sign and this poster. So, Trevino was first. So, we're in line. And then, like, worst thing ever was that I was wearing my Team Trevino shirt at that point. But I didn't wear it during my pictures. Long story. We'll explain in a bit. Sorry, Desiree. I have to explain that to you in a bit. We go to Trevino, and I'm like... The lady's like, what are you going to have him sign? I was like, well, I have this and this. And she's like, okay, whatever. And then Trevino's like, yeah, I'll sign both. I didn't want to, like, let the lady look at what I was going to get him signed. Because when they saw it earlier, they told me I couldn't get it signed. I was like, what the fuck? Get out of here. Get out of here. And I was like, no, he's going to sign this. So then I was like, okay, fine. I won't get him to sign it. But then I was like, screw that. He's going to sign this. So, I walk up there, and I was still hiding it. But I wasn't trying to hide it. I was just like, oh, it's a surprise. I want to see his reaction when he sees it. And then I showed him the first big poster with everyone's picture in it that I made, and he signed it. And he's like, oh, this is really creative of you, huh? And he just kind of pointed out Zach's picture and laughed. And I was like, oh, God. And then, but Trevino's more like whatever about stuff, and he's just so fun, and he loves that crap. So, I was like, and now you have to sign this. And I popped out his bench photo shoot picture of him in underwear, and, like, I thought that was going to be so awkward. But this is what homie does. He was like, yes, I love this. I kind of want to sign on the crotch area, but I only have a black marker, and I'm just like, I thought I was going to get, like, a blush or something coming out of him, but it was more of a, I love this, and, like, the lady was even like, okay, conceded much, and I was just dying, because I was like, at least it wasn't awkward. I was totally wearing my Team Trevino shirt at that point with my J's, and he was liking the shirt, but, I didn't wear it during the photo op, but we'll explain in a sec. So the next is Zach's. So then we're in Zach's, like, little signing thing, and he's signing my, I gave him the poster, and the lady's like, he asked the lady's like, so where am I in this? And the lady's like, right there with the sucker in your hand. And he's like, yep, that's me, and he's signing it. And I'm just like, you don't think this picture is awkward? And he's like, no, why? And I was like, because all your friends said something about it. He's like, well, what did they say? And I was like, well, you know it's awkward when Ian says something. And then Paul was the first one. He was like, why does he have a lollipop in his hand? And then I was like, oh, yeah. And then Ian was like, everyone looks really good. Why does Zach have a lollipop in his hand? And then Trevino just kind of pointed and laughed at it. And then now I'm here with you. And he's like, well, now I kind of regret taking this picture. He just kind of laughed and I thought it was adorable. Next was Nate's autograph. So I had his little picture on there and he just kind of signed it for me. We went over to the other side to Daniel's autograph. And I'm in line for Daniel's thing. I didn't add him to my poster thing, because the ticket that I had for his autograph was for somebody else. So then I was like, I guess my pass. So I was like, here's my pass. The first thing I had him sign was my picture of him. So I'm like pulling out the picture, and as I'm pulling it out, Trevino's is under there, and he looks naked at this point, because I'm like sliding it out, and all you see is like his face, and then like you're seeing like less and less of his body showing. And then he goes to, like, his underwear, and he's like, but you don't see the underwear. He's like, stop. And I was like, what? He's like, tell me that boy is wearing something under that. And I was like, oh, yeah, he is. And he's like, good. And then, like, I finally pulled it out, and he's like, what did Michael Trevino say when he saw this? And I was like, oh, he loved it. He was all about it. And he's like, straight up in, like, Elijah's voice, he's like, how conceited. And I just thought that was hilarious. I was, like, dying. Like, literally, like, I was sitting there dying when he said that. But I love Daniel because, like, the way he signs people's autograph, I know I talk really fast. My bad. But I'm too excited. Like, I finally got to talk about this. So the way he signs your autographs, you are just probably like, oh, my God. Like, how sweet is he? And, like, I was kind of one of, like, the last few people, so you'd think he would be tired about that. But he's like, X heart, X heart. And then he kind of gives it to you with all, like, this, like, this happiness. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but, like, he just seems so proud when he's handing it to you, and you're just like, oh, you're adorable. No, meet and greet. Desiree, this is where you need to pay attention so you're not pissing me for not wearing the Team Trevino shirt. I knew that my Zach picture was right after the meet and greet, so I said, okay, meet and greet, I'll do the meet and greet, and wear regular clothes, then take my Zach picture, run up to my room, wear my Team Trevino shirt, everything will be good. The meet and greet lasted so long that it went over the time that it was supposed to. I'll explain about the meet and greet in a sec. And then we had to rush over to Zach's picture, and he's waiting there in line just for, like, the 6 of us that were in there, and only, like, 3 of us had to take pictures with him. And then afterwards, they lined Trevino up, and they're like, alright, get in line now. You guys can be first. And I'm just like, wait, I wanted to go change. And they're like, well, no, because after this, you guys have to go sit down in the Q&A. And I was just like, no, my Team Trevino shirt. But it doesn't really matter because, like, in the pictures, it's not showing. But Desiree, like, he saw it, and he, like, loved it. Like, he saw it during the autographs. This has been really long. We're in the meet and greet, and first of all, like, I don't know how this happened, but I'm sitting there, and they like, okay, everyone has a seat, and then you needed one for Trevino. So the girl next to me was like, can you scoot over so he can sit here next to us? And I was like, I didn't really want to, because I didn't want him right next to me. Like, I love Trevino to death, but I just thought it was kind of like, I would rather have him face to face than like right next to me. But I was like, fine, sure, whatever. So, they put the chair right next to me, and then like they started talking about Trevino, and then I guess somebody's like, oh, he's gonna wear his Raiders jersey, and I was like, he better not. And then, I don't know who was it. One of the girls were like, what did they say? They're like, oh, well, he tweeted some girl that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that. But I wasn't trying to be like, oh, yeah, that bitch was me. And I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that. I really hope he's not going to wear that. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. But that girl really didn't want him to wear it. And I was like, I know, I saw. You know, it wasn't me. Try to play it out all good. And then this fool walks in there and he's like, hey, everybody. He walks around and he's like, hey, babe, I've missed you, Andrea. And I was just like, and everyone in that room was looking at me like, you fucking liar. And I'm just like, oh my god, I just messed up so bad. But I wasn't trying to, I just didn't want to be like, oh yeah, he was talking about me, you know what I mean? So I was trying to lay it off. And then I was just like, damn you. And he sat right next to me and he was just like, so, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, how are you? And he was like, I don't know what he said. And I was like, where's your little Raiders jersey? Because like, well, I guess he's not wearing his Raiders jersey. And I was like, yeah, where's your little, and I like moved his like jacket to the side, and I was like, where's your little Raiders jersey at? And he's like, he moved to the side, he's like, yeah, I didn't think it was a good idea. But he's just so sweet and so hilarious. We just talked about, like, at the beginning it was just me and him talking. And then I feel like everyone just seemed really annoyed that we were just talking, so I didn't ask anything during the thing. Because, like, every time he would just kind of ask me something about San Francisco or something about me or, like, how have you been, like, how's that life and stuff. And, like, he would turn to me and then, like, ask me something, and then somebody else would be like, so anyways, I want to know this. And I was just like, the fuck? Y'all bitches are crazy. So I was like, whatever. It was just fun in there, too. So, what was it? There were so many awkward moments in there when, like, he would turn to me and I would turn to him and we would just start laughing. And everyone's looking at us like, why the fuck are they laughing? What's so funny? We talked about Oakland taco trucks and Mission Street Mexican food. I mean, like I said, and I was just so nervous in there too. Like, it's a little nervous and a little like nerve-wracking in there, but it's fun. He kept pulling my chair back, and I thought my chair was gonna break. And like, I even like kept scooting more towards it so he would stop. And like, I felt like the girl on the other side kept moving away, so he would do it to her chair. And I was like, oh my god, like you're more skinnier than like you're skinny. You're gonna fall if he does that. And I was just like, oh god, like I literally felt that my chair kept going back, and I was like, I kind of gave him a look, and I was like, can you stop? And he's like, okay. Before he walked in there, they were all mad that he wasn't at the dance the night before. So then I was like, no one's gonna they were like, I'm gonna ask him why he wasn't here. Yeah, I was thinking about asking him that too. And then I looked at them once we walked in, then I was like, no one's gonna say nothing to him? And then they're looking at me like, no, shh, don't tell him, he's gonna get mad. And I was like, why weren't you here last night when you were supposed to? And then, like, they all looked so pissed that I asked him that, but I was like, whatever, I don't mind talking to him like that. I'm not gonna act like he's, like, a little fragile little boy. Whatever. I wasn't just gonna be like, oh my god, like, I don't want to bother you, but, like, I just really want to know why you're not here, and, like, please don't get mad at me for asking. I was like, no, why weren't you here last night? He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh yeah, you were signed up, blah, 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 and we were talking about that for a sec. So, yeah, I got my answers. And yeah, I don't know, it was a lot of fun in there. And then in the end, I didn't ask any questions because I felt that those girls were annoyed that at the beginning it was just me and him talking. He looks at me, he's like, thanks for all your amazing questions. And I was like, I knew he was being sarcastic, but in the moment I was just like, I didn't even ask anything. He's like, exactly. And then I was like, well, did you really want me to ask something? And he's like, no, you're right. He's so sweet though. And then we were taking pictures, and I know I looked so mad in my picture, but that lady, like, here's the picture. I looked so mad in it, and it wasn't because I was trying to look mad. It was just the lady, like, took it at one. Like, I think that was probably the best part. I would totally do meet and greets instead of, like, getting a better pass, even though I had my gold pass, and then I had the meet and greet, and I know I came back broke as fudge. Trevino was just a lot of fun. I mean, we had a lot of inside jokes going on there, and he's just really sweet, and it was just, we kept randomly laughing about stuff, and everyone probably thought we were on drugs, but it's all good. After that, we walked in, did Zach's pictures. Here's my picture with Zach. Yeah, I know I have two. I'll explain why I'm wearing the the Team Trevino one and the other one. We're still in the meeting and I was like, oh, I have 2 pictures with you after this. And he's like, oh, what poses are we doing then? And I was like, I don't know, pick something. And I was like, what about your little hand pose? And he's like, all right, I don't know if he said it or I said it. One of us said it, and we were like, oh, your little pose or something like that. And he's like, yes, we're going to do my hand pose. And I was like, all right. So we go over there, and he's like, what about the other one? And I was like, I don't know, pick something. You still have time. So we literally walked with him to the queue and to the thing, and there's only like 6 of us, and like I guess like 2 of them didn't have pictures with Trevino, which I thought was kind of weird because it's like, how do you have a meet and greet but not a picture with this guy? There was only like 4 of us maybe walking with him, and the 2 girls were friends, so they were walking, and it's just like, it's me with Trevino and then this other chick, and then like those 2 behind us walking, and we're all walking, and everyone's like, why are they walking with him? And like me and him were joking the whole way, and then with his like little bodyguard guy, and we're making fun of Zach, because I was like, is Zach going to be wearing his glass? And he's like, you know, little 4 eyes always going to be wearing them. We're lined up for our Trevino one, and I walked up there, and I was like, she's like, so what are we doing? I was like, I thought we were doing your little hand pose, and he's like, oh, that's right. So we do his little thing that he always does, little pose, and I thought that was adorable. And then the second one, he actually picked that pose. I know it's awkward because I wouldn't have got that pose. Like, I don't think I could have been like, hey, can you hug me? Like, the second one's really, like, look at this picture. I find it so awkward. I don't know why. It's just, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't even post that at the beginning because I posted our little hand one because I love that one. People were just like, the comments I was getting on those pictures on Twitter and Facebook and like Tumblr and everywhere else I posted that, oh god. I was just like, this is so awkward, and they were tagging Trevino in the comments, so Trevino's probably like, the fuck. And then I tweeted Trevino, I was like, Trevino, these comments I am receiving, thanks, like, talk about awkward right now, and like, I know he's probably dying, because like, people on Twitter, you guys are just so awkward. Like, I was in here dying, reading all your guys' thing. Like, literally, I, like, spit out water when I read one the other day. Like, I was like, pfft. Like, I was just, like, drinking water, you know, drinking my water, and here, looking at my phone. Oh, look, Team Trevino, but it's backwards. And I'm just, like, looking at my phone, reading a tweet, I'm like, like, I was like, what? Because you guys are just too much. But I love you guys dearly. We were both really tan and looking cute. I was really happy he wasn't wearing his Raiders jersey. His leather jacket was on point. I'm just really happy that he had a fun time out here. He said he hadn't been here for like a long time. He's like, yeah, I haven't been here in like 10 years. And I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I will definitely be coming back. And I can't tell you, he had a lot of fun the night before. Like, he told us where he was at and stuff, and we were just like, a lot of people weren't from San Francisco, so they didn't know where the hell those streets were, but I did, and he's like, I'm definitely coming back, and I was like, oh, I know you are. And Trevino's really sweet. Alright, enough kissing his ass, let's go to the next person. My Zach pictures, I didn't really like them, and I liked the other one better, but then my boobs look so massive in that picture, like, I'm like, what the fudge? Like, if you see that, what the hell is going on back there? Why in Zach's picture I'm wearing my Team Trevino shirt? I can't tell you guys why. So, I was like, okay, well, I have to go wear my shirt for his, for the autograph so you can at least see it, because he's like, where's your Team Trevino shirt? And I was like, I have it. Then I go change it to that, and my friend's like, I didn't take my picture with Zach. Can you go back with me over there? And I was like, sure. She's like, well, I have 2, so you just want to be my second? And I was like, I looked down at my shirt and I'm like, sure. And then Zach's like looking at me, and he looks so angry. Like, he doesn't look angry. He just looks really disappointed. And I'm like, oh my god, what did I do to you? And he's like, really? Really? And I was like, are you still mad because of the lollipop picture? And he's like, really, Team Trevino? Okay, so somebody likes Tyler more than Matt. And I was like, he is such a sweetheart. I really regret not getting a picture with him because he's so sweet. And then I really regret not getting Daniel one because he's just hilarious too. And I gave him, like, a Daniel Gillies bracelet, and he was, like, he, like, loved it. He had never seen it, and he was, like, I love this. And he kept saying thank you to me randomly during the convention. I was like, I didn't even give you that. That was all Kim. And, yeah, he got married in Napa, California, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm, like, out there right now for stuff. And he's like, oh, I love Napa. Yeah, Ian is so sweet. Oh, funniest part was, I forgot to say this, Trevino and Zach's Q&A wasn't until after the meet and greet and after all that. So, funniest thing was that we're, like, sitting there. During the meet and greet, I didn't really ask Trevino any questions because we were just talking it up. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give all these people a chance to talk because it's not fair that I'm, like, hogging him. Even though it was more of him, like, kind of hogging me in a really weird way. In a totally normal way. So, he was like, thanks for all your amazing questions. And I knew he was being sarcastic. But tell me why during the Q&A, my question was the first one to be asked. And everyone's like, what the hell? Like, because Trevino looks so pissed because he's looking at me and he's just like, and like, even the ladies were like, maybe he doesn't want to answer it. And he's like, if you're okay answering, he's like, oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine answering this. Finally, I get a question from this girl, and he's like, everyone's turning at me like, the fuck? Because he was just shaking his head like, no, 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 no. The other funny thing was during his Q&A, somebody was like, what's your favorite childhood memory? And he's like looking for me, and then he finds me, and he's like, going to Raiders games with my dad. And I was just like, okay. We talked about how both our families are all Raiders fans, and I'm the only Niner one, and he's a Raider like all the rest of his family. And, yeah, besides that, Trevino, I like your grandpa way more than I like you. Inside joke, you know what I'm talking about. Nate was so sweet in his Q&A. He, like, totally wants kids, like, it was so awkward because this little boy asked the question. He's like, I want kids so bad. And I was like, oh my god, aren't you like 12? But no, he's so sweet. And, yeah. Thinking I'm going to do the Vegas one in April. We're basically just going to end this with some pictures from the convention. So you guys can just enjoy those. Talk to you guys later. Bye.